I got a caravan of niggas every time we ride. Hitting motherfuckers up when we pass by. Until I die, live the life of a boss player. Cause even when I'm high, fuck with me and get cross later. The future's in my eyes. Cause all I want is cash and things. A 500 Benz wanting flashy rings. Bitches pursue me like a dream. Been known to disappear before your eyes. It's like a dope fiend. It seems my main thing was to be major. Paid the game sharper than the motherfucking razor blade. Save money, bring bitches. Bitches bring lies. One nigga's getting jealous and motherfuckers die. Depend on me like the first and 15. They might hold me for a second, but before gon' get me. We got 4 niggas and low riders and ski masks screaming thug life. Every time they pass, all eyes on me. Live the life of a thug nigga until the day I die. Live the life of a boss player. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Live the life of a thug nigga until the day I die. Live the life of a boss player, cause even getting high. Hey, my nigga Pop. Oh yeah. I get around. Still clown with the underground when we come around. Stronger than ever. Back to get wrecked. All respect to those who break their neck to keep their hopes in check. As though they sweat a brother majorly. And I don't know why your girl keeps paging me to tell me that she needs me. Cries when she leaves me. And every time she sees me, she squeeze me. Lady, take it easy. Hate to sound sleazy, but tease me. I don't want it if it's that easy. Hey yo, bust it. Baby got a problem saying bye-bye. Just another hazard of a fly guy. Your ass wide don't matter. My pockets got fatter. Now everybody's looking for the ladder. And ain't no need in being greedy. If you wanna see me, try to keep a number, baby, when you need me. And I'll be there in a jiffy. Don't be picky, just be happy with this quickie. And when you learn, you can't time it down, baby doll. Check it out. I get around. What you mean you don't know? Check it go. I get around. The underground just don't stop for hoes. I get around. Still down with the underground clown. Around and go. I get around. Yeah. Hey yo, shot. Let them hoes know. Yeah. Clear enough for you? All right. Yeah. Why niggas look mad? Y'all supposed to be happy on the street. Y'all niggas look like y'all wanted me to stay in jail. Oh, busters. Picture me rolling in my 500 Benz. I got no love for these niggas. There's no need to be friends. They got me under surveillance. I swear somebody can tell it. Know there's dope being sold, but I ain't the one selling. Don't wanna be another number. I got a fucking gang of weed to keep them going under. The federalists wanna see me dead. Niggas put prices on my head. Now I got 2 rock dollars by my bed. I feed them lead. Now I'm released. How will I live? Well, God forgive me for all the dirt a nigga did. To feed kids, one life to live. It's so hard to be positive when niggas shooting at your crib. Mama, I'm still thugging. The world is a war zone. My homies is inmates, and most of them dead grown. Full grown, following your man. So scheming on ways to put some weed inside the palms of my empty hands. Just picture me rolling, flossing the beans on range that isn't stolen. My dreams are censored, my hopes are born. I'm like a bean that finally sees all the dope is gone. My nerves is wrecked, heart beating in my hands is swollen. Thinking of the G's I be holding. Picture me rolling. Can you see me now? Move to the side a little bit so you can get a clear picture. Can you see it? Picture me rolling. Yeah, nigga. Hey, but peep how my nigga Psych do it. Guess it's back. Tell me how many real motherfuckers feel me. I smoke a blunt and freak the fuckers. Jealous motherfuckers kill me. I'm out the gutter, pick a hero. I'm 165 and staying out till I die. My competition's 0, cause I can give a fuck about you. You better duck. Go hard be forced to hit your ass up. I give a fuck, I'm sick inside my mind while he sweat me. It's gonna take an army full of wicked ass cops to come and get me. Niggas know I ain't the one to sleep on. and hitting switches in a high-speed chase with these punk bitches. Don't turn around, I ain't giving up. Because they don't worry me, pussy ass bitches better bury me. Running out of gas, time to park it. I'm on foot, we in the hood, how the fuck they gon' catch a crook? I got away cause I'm clever.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Little recap from yesterday. All right, we were paying attention to these price trading above the buy side liquidity on the 4-hour, right? These single highs here inside this imbalance. Let me just double check, make sure we're good. Yeah, we should be good. All right, single high, purge that. We have that other buy side liquidity just about 30 handles above where price is right now. So if we were looking to retrace anywhere, it'd be this single low inside this imbalance. We did that here, right during London session this morning. All right, so if we're gonna keep, this is a more out there buy side liquidity, right? It's that single high above all these inefficiencies. I would think that maybe we can get a retracement below this. Let's see here, right? So this is a more significant, right, single high. It's not inside this imbalance here, right? This high is inside that imbalance, so very easy draw on liquidity, right? We could see a retracement here, but now if we look at the 4-hour here, candle body's respecting it fairly well. So maybe we disrespect this hourly fair value gap here, this SIBI, and keep working our way up higher, right? But we don't have any inefficiencies, right, within this up move, right? And 15-minute also is just, it's kind of just being very efficient going back and forth, right? So we'll see how price reacts to this 1-hour SIBI. We'll keep our eyes on this. Right, because it could efficiently just keep working its way up higher, right? By all means, go for some of this relatively equal highs up here, right? And then we'll just kind of be sitting on the hands, or we can kind of trade up into this 1-hour imbalance, shift in market structure on like the 15 minutes, start coming after some of this sell side liquidity that we've been generating. But we just got to keep following order flow until it tells us otherwise. So we'll kind of just pay attention here. On the lower time frames too, the candle bodies are not really well put together, right? A lot of gaps, a lot of spaces, right? So it's not really looking that clean as of right now. So we just have to let price develop and yeah, just let price develop. It might be in anticipation to for that 11 a.m. news, honestly, right? Which will be dropping here in about an hour or so, right? So it could just be an escrow until then, right? It's Trump speaking. I want to say he's giving a speech at the World Economic Forum, right? Yes, I believe so. Right, so that's why price probably could be in escrow right now, just waiting for him to speak. So I mean, maybe we'll just be sitting on the hands until then, just a waiting game.
benches, evading the player hating trick while hitting switches. Bitches is bad mouth, cause ballin' motherfuckers is bold, but charge from home. The game should be sold. Them sick and psychotic society, somebody save me. Addicted to drama, so even mama couldn't raise me. Even the preacher and all my teachers couldn't reach me. I run in the streets and puffin' weed with my peeps. I'm ducking the cops, I hit the weed as I'm clutching my Glock. Niggas is hot when I hit the block. What if I die tonight? If I die tonight? If I die tonight? Yo, throw your fingers up. Tell me, baby, are you lonely? Don't wanna rush, I can help you if you only. Let me touch you if I'm wrong, love, tell me. Cause I get caught up in the life I live as hell. See, I never thought I'd see the day when I would calm down. You ain't heard, I've been known to clown and get around. That's my word, see you walking and you're looking good. Yes, indeed, got a body like a sex fiend. You're killing me with your attitude to match, right? Don't be phony, cause I hate it when you act like you don't know me, I've been stressing in the spotlight. I want the fame, but the industry's a lot like a crap game, ain't no time for commitment. I gotta go, can't be with you every minute. It's another show, and even though I'm known for my one night stand, look here, I wanna be an honest man, but temptation's on me. Give up the finger. I should've seen you was trouble right from the start. Taught me so many lessons, how not to mess with broken hearts. So many questions. When this began, we was the perfect match, perhaps. We had some problems, but we working at it. And now the arguments are getting loud. I wanna stay, but I can't help from walking out. Let's throw it away. Just take my hand and understand. If you could see, I never planned to be a man. It just wasn't me. But now I'm searching for commitment and other arms. I wanna shelter you from harm. Don't be alarmed. Your attitude was the cause. You got me stressing. Soon as I open up the door with your jealous questions. Like where can I be? You're killing me with your jealousy. Now my ambitions to be free, I can't breathe. Cause soon as I leave, it's like a trap. I hear you calling me to come back. I'm a sucker for love. That's right. Sucker for love. Sucker for love. Just when I thought I broke away and I'm feeling happy, you try to trap me, say you're pregnant, and guess who's the daddy? Don't wanna fall for it, but in this case, what could I do? So now I'm back to making promises to you, trying to keep it true. What if I'm wrong? A trick to keep me holding on, trying to be strong in the process, keep it going. About to lose my composure, I'm getting close to packing up and leaving notes and getting ghosts. Tell me who knows a peaceful place where I can go to clear my head. I'm feeling low, losing control. My heart is saying leave, or what a tangle where we weave. When we conspire to conceive, and now you're getting calls at the house. Guess you're cheating. That's all I need to hear, cause I'm leaving. I'm out the door, never no more when you see me. This is the end, cause now I know you've been cheating. I'm a sucker for love. Sucker for love. Sucker for love. Yeah, pour out a little liquor for your homies, nigga. This one here go out to my nigga Mike Cruz. How you come up, man? I started young, kicking dust, man.
Right, but if we flip over to the BTC chart real quick, just to get a little review here. Right, just got a nice little up candle here. Right. It's kind of interesting to see that chart compared to like the Coinbase chart. The Coinbase chart is a little bit more clean, but right, overall, BTC making a new all-time high on Monday. All right, got a little retracement into this daily fair value gap. Candle body's respecting it. Right, and now it looks like keep drawing higher. right? We have a small little inefficiency here after purging all this liquidity down here. But given the seasonality of it, right, it's looking very similar to this retracement right here. Right, if you count how many days after the halving, this is about 242 days after the halving. Took about 31 days to make a new all-time high. Right? And right, not too long after that, about a couple months after that, right, we put in the high. Right? About 65 days after that. But that is what I'm thinking is very similar to what is happening right now. Right? Shout out Tyler for putting me on that, right? And first recognizing that, but played out very, very similarly, right? If you talk about the timing after the halving, it is very similar to how this is looking, right? This is about the same after the halving. About 243 days, I believe, after the halving. We get that retracement, sweep some sell side liquidity. Clean, very clean, relatively equal lows here. Purge through it here. Right, and I think that was a little retracement on the weekly imbalance here. Slight tap into this weekly imbalance. And then now we're getting that all-time high about 34 days after this first high was put in. Right, so a few days after the 31 of the previous halving, but like super similar just based on timing. Right, so we have the retracement back into this small little fair value gap, this daily busy, right? Candle body's respecting it here. Now I'll be looking to draw towards that all-time high, right? That single wick high. Actually, we'll leave that there, right? So then now it's just getting lower time frames, dropping down the lower time frames and waiting for that shift in market structure. Possible imbalance here, right? Short-term high, couple short-term highs. Right, we got the closure above just a couple of minutes ago. Right, nice little 15-minute shift in market structure here, retracement right before the open, and then we got a huge expansion, right, like 2,500 handles, right, in one 15-minute candle. So why is this? Alright, so that's looking nice. We'll flip back over to the ES chart real quick. Alright, it's looking like it's going to be an escrow until Trump starts speaking at the World Economic Forum. Right, let's see if the lower, candles are still not that clean, especially for being after the market open. Right, market opened right about here. Right, candles are still very inconsistent, right? Big gaps, like volume imbalances, a lot of wicks, candle bodies with no wicks, right? So if you drop over to the 15-minute, a lot cleaner. And yeah, it looks like we're gonna be maybe in escrow till Trump speaks in about 1 hour. So just be patient. Be alright, be super patient, and just be sitting on the hands, it looks like, until then.
I'm on my swimming in the wind, give anything to be that innocent again. When I was 10, I didn't bang, but I was hanging with the homies till them niggas started slinging. Now they don't know me. I got my hustle on, learned to ignore what couldn't pay me. Lately I've been trying to make a million. Can you pay me with that jealousy? They need to miss me. Don't sweat me if the cowards really want me, come get me. And even I, someday will die, but I'm cautious. I've been the ride, put down the top, now we flossing. Hit the freeway, let the wind blow. Drop the window, working with a 20-second endo. Feeling good, stop through the hood, grab the young thugs. And I can't help but reminisce back when we slung drugs. Know it's bad, but all we had was our hopes and dreams. Couldn't see unless we learned to slang dope to fiends. A young nigga,
Like everybody knows,
as a young
he's
nigga.
always teed up from head to toe.
My memories as a young nigga.
Always got it grown like apple bone.
Young
He
nigga.
got down and G out there alone.
Back in junior high, when we was barely getting by, when daddy died, that's when my mama started getting
I'll be curious to see if we get into this hourly imbalance here before Trump speaks at 11, right? 11 a.m. Eastern time, right? Or if we get that drop down, purge this liquidity, respect this hourly busy, and then we keep working our way up higher, right? Because there's the seasonality of Bitcoin more specifically, but I feel like I think their correlation is what, like 85% correlation between Bitcoin and S&P 500. Let me double check real quick.
Yeah, nigga, drop the top on your motherfucking ride. This how we do on the West Coast, baby. Rolling down a 405, getting high, white boys, then they wreck they shit to check my ride. I ain't being boopsy, cruising in a 6.
But I want to say they're very similar. I want to say it was like 85%. Not too sure, but seasonality for Bitcoin, right? Anticipating overall pretty bullish bias for the next couple of months, going into the seasonality of March, April, putting in a high, right? A short-term high, right? That is what we were talking about last year, and that's kind of just like the seasonality of the indices, right? Is right around March, April, May time, looking for that daily shift in market structure, right? And just putting in that seasonality high, right? If we go over to the continuous charts, like typically, right, seasonality, right, putting in that short-term high, right? Look at here. This is end of March, 1st of April, daily shift in market structure, right? Putting in that short-term high, getting that retracement, right? If you look at previous, right, let's see, 2022, we actually short-term little pullback here, nothing too crazy though, right? Continue working our way up higher, but just typically within the seasonality wise, right, we usually put that short-term high around March, April, May, right? Another little short-term high right here of end of March, beginning of May, or end of March, beginning of April, right? That's kind of just like the seasonality of it, right? End of May right here, getting that pullback, right? But pretty bullish going into that, right? So if it's like within a regular season, right, we can anticipate something very similar, right? March, April time, March, April, May, putting in some type of short-term high, right, before getting some type of pullback, right? It doesn't have to be like an extreme pullback, but just like a little, just anticipating that we're putting in that short-term high. Same thing that we talk about with, August, October, September, right? Putting in that short-term low, right? August, putting that short-term low right here. Retracement into these fair value gaps here. Right. Little short-term low here. Getting a low run up. October, November, as late as November. I mean, you know, that's just something we can anticipate seasonality-wise. Not every single year, right? It's not guaranteed, but we can anticipate within a normal season, right? We would get that short-term high or short-term low. Short-term high forming in March, April, May area. Short-term low forming August, September, October, as late as the first 2 weeks in November. So anticipating pretty bullish, right, for the next few months, right? Just having that kind of bias in mind. So like any retracements into, especially now that we're shifting more on the daily now, right? Getting candle closures above short-term highs, right? Daily highs after purging liquidity, right? Retracements back into these fair value gaps are all buying opportunities, right? We'll be looking for lower time frame shifts in market structure, right? Like look at this 4 hour, right? We're tracing back into this fair value gap, respecting that, moving higher, right? We just retraced back into this little small 4 hour fair value gap as well. Candle bodies are respecting it pretty nicely. So we'll just be looking for, you know, runs on liquidity and then shifts in market structure, moving higher, right? Until otherwise stated. Yeah. So, right, maybe Trump, we get a move down, purge some sell side liquidity, and then maybe trade into some inefficiencies, maybe purge this liquidity down here. Who knows? But then eventually, right, we'll be looking for that shift in market structure to move higher. Right? That is what I'm kind of thinking overall. Right, that's kind of my thinking more on like the macro landscape of price. Sure, we can get some short-term sell setups, of course, right, when there's obvious draws on liquidity, but the more prolonged moves are definitely going to be, I would anticipate, on the long side, right? But we'll just have to see what is presented within the session, right? Within each session and within sessions liquidity and inefficiencies. But just kind of thinking about that for the next few months, right?
I was young, me and my mama had beef. 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Though back at the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys breaking all the rules. Shed tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than other little kids. And even though we had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell, hugging on my mama from a jail cell. And who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day. Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whooping to my backside. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama. I finally understand for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed, a poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it, there's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it. my motherfucking friends. Damn, they should have shot me when I was born. Now I'm trapped in the motherfucking storm. How long will they move me?
I wish it would have been another.
How long will they move me? After niggas all dead and shit. How long will they move me?
I wish it would have been another.
How long will they move me?
From the cradle to the grave, life ain't never been easy. Living in the ghetto. From the cradle to the grave, life ain't
June
never been
16,
easy.
1971. Mama gave birth to a hell-raising heavenly son. See, the doctor tried to smack me, but I smacked him back. My first words was thug for life, and Papa passed the Mac. I'm busting on these motherfuckers ballin'. Listen, you can hear my mini team calling. I'm out the window on my drop top. I got my Glock cop, busting at niggas who will stop. Now tell me, are you scared of the dark? Can't close my eyes, I see visions. And even with this thug living, well, I escaped prison. Penitentiary chances was an all-day thing. The only way to advance. And if you slang, then you better have your nights on. Cause when we fight, it's in the middle of the night with no lights on. Hey, there must be a God, cause I feel lucky, paranoid out my mind. This motherfucker's trying to bust me. Am I going to jail? Look at me bailing, coming out the courthouse, all about my mail. Man, never die, be a hustler, motherfuckers. And making thugs out you suckers from the cradle to the grave.
From the cradle to the grave, life ain't never been easy. Living in the ghetto.
Dear Lord, as we down here struggle for as long as we know, in search of a paradise we can touch. Dreams are dreams, and reality seems
This is good practice and good recognition of just like when to stay patient. You know what I mean? Right, price action. This is like less than ideal, right? This is how you can tell it's just like being held in like escrow and like when not to trade, right? You don't need to force anything right now. Like your price has literally just been chilling within like a few handles range since the open. 5 handles, like literally 5 handles. This range from the open, high and low, is like not even 10 handles, right? Look how inconsistent the candle bodies are, right? A lot of wicks, a lot of volume imbalances, and incomplete bodies of candles, and just like no wicks, a lot of spacing. So it's like you don't need to force anything, right? This is how you can tell it's being in like escrow, right? Waiting for the news to happen, right? It's just very, very slow, you know, and that's just how it is. That's just how it is sometimes, right? You're not gonna make all your like when you're talking like in dollars terms, right? Dollars terms, and like let's say like the building the account, getting more funding, etc. Right? That is not going to be made during price action like this. Right? All your hopes and dreams are not going to be fulfilled with price action like this. Right? So just being like super patient with it and waiting for the news to drop, right? I mean, like literally, you're getting basically in a way paid to wait, right? You're waiting for price action to drop the news, right? First of all, which is going to be usually that manipulation move, right? Maybe wait 30 minutes post that and, you know, see if a setup gets presented, right? If it does, sweet. If not, hey, I mean, you're literally getting paid to wait, right? Those days that you are staying patient, right? Not taking any trades are giving you the opportunity to put on trades, put on winning trades in those high probability conditions. You know what I mean? It's very different thinking, like ideology wise, like a different state of mind that you have to kind of be in, and like a perspective that you have to kind of look at it. But I mean, that is pretty much it, right? Like, you're kind of getting paid to not take trades in a way if you are being like super disciplined with your plan, right? Executing, being patient, being very disciplined, right? You're in a way you are kind of getting paid for that, right? By not having the account go on drawdown on those low probability condition days, right? The more disciplined you are, right? Stick to your plan will eliminate those unnecessary losses, and then we can try to grow the account better, right? In a more efficient fashion by mitigating those losses and putting on those high probability condition days, right? So it allows us to have those more high probability setups taken compared to a lot of unnecessary losses that take away from your your winning days, right? And your good setups that you take, right? That's the way I kind of just look at it, right? The less losses that we have in the account, the better, right? Then the wins are that much more significant in the account, and we're not like trailing on a drawdown, right? That's the kind of approach that I'm going into this year, is just being like more disciplined with it and gathering more data, of course, and monitoring how those little tiny slight tweaks in my plan are going to end up playing out, hopefully put myself in a better position to get withdrawals, right? Build up the accounts better, right? Maybe that means taking less trades, but I think it's also going to increase the win percentage, right? My winning percentage, and just like expected payout overall, right? So just being like more disciplined, more patient, and gathering a lot of data to make better decisions, right? Fairly simple, right? Plan, execute, iterate, right? And just keep doing that over and over again. But this is where it's gonna test your patience. Price just going sideways, you want to take a trade, but we got news obviously from Price's actions, right? This news is going to be, I think it's going to be a big news driver, right? Since we've just been going kind of sideways since London session, just slowly working its way up, right? And the candle bodies are very inconsistent. So I really, we'll see in here. I mean, we'll see in about 30 minutes if I'm right or not. But my prediction would be is once Trump starts speaking, that this is going to really start moving now, right? Because it's kind of just been held in this escrow going sideways. So we'll see. But that's kind of the way I just like approach these mornings now. Yeah, and we'll just see how it plays out from here.
You made a difference in my life. It happened at the moment when I saw your face. It must have been something in your eyes that made it easy like a Sunday. It's not hard to understand, yeah. 'Cause anyone who sees you feels feels the same way. And so I had to take the chance to let you know you're so amazing. I innate, said I may not speak your language, but I know just what to say, baby. I innate, oh yeah. Oh, I wanna see you every day.
So, what am I not supposed to have an opinion? Should I keep quiet just because I'm a woman? Call me a bitch cause I speak what's on my mind. Guess it's easier for you to swallow if I sat and smile. When a female fires back, suddenly they talk and don't know how to act. So that's what that little boy would do, making up a few false promises to. That for sure is not a man to me. It's slandering names for popularity. He says you wanna get me through controversy, but now it's time for me to come and give you more to say. This is for my girls all around the world. For the men that don't respect your worth. Thinking all women should be seen like her. What do we do, girl? Shout out loud, letting them know we're gonna stand our ground. Put your hands high and wave 'em proud. Take a deep breath and say, and never will can hold us down. Nobody hold us down. Nobody hold us down. Nobody hold us down.
Nobody could tell you nothing about you and your baby. Oh, no. You used to work at love. Not sure what made you break down and just get so lazy. Don't care anymore. And that's when things started to break down. You took for granted what y'all found. Then said you were better all alone. But now you're just wishing she'd come home. You messed up, don't try to call her now. If your love is real, time will make it right somehow. Don't try.
Right, kind of just going back on that too. Just from looking over our last year's data,
Don't try to rush her back. She gotta make the decision.
eliminating unnecessary, like low probability trades, I think will really take me past just the slightly profitable edge. You know, it's just like small little minor tweaks, like noticing that closure above and the shifts in market structure, and going to break even, right, on new highs or new lows being formed. It's kind of just like with the idea of losing less and really letting those winning setups like carry the account in a way, right? Just eliminating a lot of losses, I think, are just will just let those winning trades like present themselves in the account so much more, you know. And just, I mean, the more data I have, the better decision making you can have, you know. So I think we shall see, right? It'll be the test of time. We'll tell if those slight changes will be able to put us over the edge of not just being slightly profitable, but like, you know, being able to be more consistent with it and be able to build up the accounts. Not only like P&L wise and like time wise, but just overall being a better operator, I would say getting more experience for sure. Now that, you know, being a little bit more seasoned, now we're coming up on, you know, not even just another year of live streaming, but a couple of years of seeing price action, like more disciplinedly. And I think that in combination with like keeping very good data and seeing how price typically reacts in like just certain situations, right? I mean, you're just going to become a better operator, right? So combine that with like more self-awareness I've already seen this year, even like within the short few weeks that we've had so far in this year, that being able to have more winners and lose less. I mean, that's pretty much how it is, right? Being able to grow the account with the winning trades, but not give it all back within losing trades, right? Like just having so many more losing trades that it takes away from all the good trades, the good setups that you did put on. You know what I mean? So we shall see. It will be the test of time. This year we'll recap kind of, every kind of quarter, on a monthly basis, a bi-yearly basis, and kind of just like monitor how we're going, like how we're doing, and I think being more disciplined with it, waiting for those high probability setups is really, we're gonna trade less, but I think it's gonna really push the edge over, and we should be able to see it in the account balances for sure, and luckily, as we like bring on more capital, right? As I bring on more capital, the account balances are neutral when you first get them, right? They're right at that 50K, right? You don't have any profits or no drawdown, so it's like brand new opportunity. So combine that with, we're gonna get those brand new opportunities as we becoming more seasoned. Like that is a very good recipe to being more disciplined and getting payouts at the end of the day, right? So yeah, combine those with being able to add on more funding, right? More opportunities, and price action, being disciplined with executing, waiting for those high probability conditions, not trading when you're not supposed to trade, and just controlling what you can control. I think it's gonna be a very, very solid year, because like, let's say even like yesterday, right? Waiting for that shift in market structure on the 3-minute here, we almost had it. It was like literally within the last 5 seconds, this candle completely closed in that potential busy that was forming here, right? So if we would have been reckless and just jumping in early, whatever, guess what? You get stopped out by only a couple of ticks, right? We're talking like literally, I think like 2 ticks. Getting stopped out 2 ticks past the low, and guess what? Now it runs 50 plus handles on you, right? How are you gonna feel about that? Emotion wise, like how are you gonna feel if you barely got stopped out by 2 ticks, half a handle, and then it runs 50 plus handles on you in your direction, hitting all your buy side liquidity targets? Like that's just not good for the mental, right? So it's like protecting that mental capital as well, in combination, right? Just being disciplined, right? Being very disciplined, being very patient, waiting, really being focused and waiting for your setup, right? Waiting for your model. So, even though we knew the draw on liquidity, right? We had our buy side liquidity targets marked up, right? And different inefficiencies marked up, right? Even if it's going there, like from my specific model, if you're not patient like that, of course this is gonna be a no-brainer that it stops you out and then just runs, absolutely just rips in your direction, so now coming in today, right, we have a fresh peace of mind, a good peace of mind. There is no FOMO from missing this move. There really isn't, right? There's opportunities being presented every single day. So, talk about protecting that mental capital and the actual capital of the account. Right now, we don't take a loss here, right? We're still good. So it's like, we have those fresh accounts. There is absolutely zero rush to put on any trades to get those into profits, because like when you try chasing that, then like that's like instantly when you go into drawdown, and then now you have to work out of drawdown out of all those accounts, right? So right, this just hammers in that idea of being like very, very patient, being very, very disciplined to your model. And yeah, for sure, for surely. Right, so, and I think that just comes with like touching that hot stove and just realizing it's hot, right? Maybe you really think like, oh, like you know where it's going and stuff like that, but like our risk to reward and like knowing how much we're trying to risk in each setup and just having a set of rules, right? It really is that North Star that's guiding you, right? And as you get more experience and like as I'm becoming like more seasoned, it's all those intrusive thoughts of like, let me just hop into here. Those are, you realize those are drawdown opportunities. You know what I mean? Those are literally situations where you're putting yourself in drawdown. When you think you want to go, it's doing the opposite of what you want to do, right? Obviously, you want to build the accounts and put them in profit and stuff like that, get withdrawals. But it's like, how do you do that? It's not by taking those, right? That's what I'm just kind of like realizing as I'm becoming more experienced, like all those. And it's not like I'm super outside of the model. Honestly, like if you were to watch all the streams from last year, I'm not very outside my model. Like I stick very to it. I stick to it very well. But it's just like these slight little changes. I think it's really gonna allow me to rip higher in the P&L, right, in the profit and loss of the accounts, you know. So, right, like even staying out of knowing the timing, right? Like we don't need to put on no setups right now, like straight up. If you feel like you need to, you are asking to put yourself in drawdown. Straight, like literally, you are asking, I want my account to go in drawdown. And it's like, why do you want to do that? You don't want to do that to yourself. Why you don't want to do that to yourself? Right? That just starts a domino effect of, that's just a very slippery slope, you know? And if you're not very cautious, you can get caught up in that real quick. Right? So just being super patient, right? Understanding where we kind of sit. You know, like who cares like if price is moving whatever 10 handles right now? It's like that's not repeatable if you're just pushing the button, like straight up with no model. Right now it's showing up into that hour inefficiency that we're talking about. Or actually, is that hour in the 15-minute overlap? Oh yeah, it overlaps exactly on the same exact spot. Very nice. But it's like just like mitigating those losses. Like, why I don't want to put the account in drawdown if I don't have to. So it's like you're trying to put your account in profits, but if you're being like undisciplined, just like pushing the button, it's like you're asking for your account to go and draw down, like literally asking for your account to go and draw down. So let's like not do that, right? Let's stay disciplined. Let's like follow our model and our plan and look for high probability setups, right? And if it's not high probability, then like I don't want it. You know, who cares if the move still does what it's gonna do? Like if I don't have very high certainty where I know where price is going, then it's like I don't want to take it. it's just not worth putting that account in drawdown. You know, not saying I'm not gonna lose. Of course I'm gonna lose setups, right? That's a given. But it's like if I don't have to, then what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know, it's like a little give and take. Like let's say like that break even rule that I implemented, right? That I started implementing with making new highs and new lows. Absolutely, I'm gonna miss setups that are gonna rip once it gets stopped out of break even. But that is far and few between of how many of the amount of setups that I'm gonna save of losing, right? Like, let me just like iterate that again. Price is going to rip sometimes when I get stopped out of break even. But that is not going to be as frequent as the amount of setups that I'm gonna save from losing in my account, right? A very small percentage, yes, they are gonna get something out at break even, and then they're gonna rip, right? They're absolutely gonna rip in my direction, but it's like those are very few and far between compared to the 2 times, 3 times more setups that I'm gonna save myself from going and draw down and taking on bigger losses than I have to, right? Sure, it depends on it absolutely depends on your risk to reward ratio for sure, right? That's why you got to look over your data personally. But just from my data, I am going to save myself from 2 to 3 times more setups of getting stopped out, of full loss, getting full stopped out, and going in taking on drawdown in the account. Sure, I'm gonna miss those few setups that do absolutely rip when they go in my direction, but those setups that rip are not gonna. They don't pay for all the setups that I'm gonna get fully stopped out at. They don't, right? Just from last year and a half, 2 years worth of data, they don't pay for that. So if they're not gonna pay for all those losers and some, I rather miss those setups. That is absolute truth. That is absolute truth. I don't want those rippers, like those setups that are absolutely gonna rip in my in my direction. I don't want them if they're not gonna put me in more profits than all those losing trades that I'm gonna take on by not having that role. So it's like now I have more data. I can make those decisions and just become a better operator at the end of the day, right? And run the business a little bit more efficient. That's why I'm very optimistic about this year, right? Just making slight little changes like that, I think is really gonna, it's gonna seem like very easy. Like, how come I couldn't do this before? But that's because I'm gonna be so much more disciplined, so much more patient with operating and executing. So we shall see how this ends up playing out. But I think that is, we will see. We will see. Time will tell. But I think that's going to be absolutely huge for the P&L this year, right? That's really going to make a difference and separate just from being a little bit above break even, slightly in profits, to we're going to be able to really build up the accounts here, right? Really, honestly, max allocation and funding with Apex. Like, that is on the table 100%. 100. Right, that is absolutely on the table. You know, we did 400K in funding last year, right? With only using, that was only from June or May to December. Right? May to December. I am absolutely getting that max allocation funding this year. 1 million. That is already done. Right? I already know what I have to do in order to get there. So now it's just doing the do. Right? So, like, keeping it super, super, super simple. Super simple. Right, keeping it super, super simple. Right, the more simpler, the better. Right, collecting. I can only make these decisions by collecting good data and staying consistent with my execution. If you're constantly changing how you're executing, how are you going to be able to make better decisions? Right, every setup looks different. Right, so you can't even get a large sample size if I'm just taking on 85 different setups. Right, that just doesn't make sense. Right, you can't get to know and go deep if you can't get to know and understand and go deep within your model if you're constantly changing it. right? That's what I'm saying. Last year, you could look at all the streams last year. Even the losing days, I'm still very disciplined with what I'm out to do. Even I would even sometimes doubt myself on the setup and still execute on it because I want to stick to the plan, right? That is like opposite emotions, right? It's like I would doubt that the setup would play out, but I'm like, this fits the model. I have to execute on it regardless, right? But now, right, since I have all that data, I checked in with myself at the end of the year, reviewing all that data. Now I can be better equipped this year, right? If I didn't force myself to take those setups, I wouldn't have the data to make better decisions. Not even saying I have to execute behind it. Even if you document it, I feel like you can get a very similar result, but I did both, documenting it plus executing it. It's like so crucial. So crucial. I feel like so very crucial, right? Right, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience, right? Personal experience of, just trading and being like more self-aware of what's going on, right? And not just being a cog in the wheel, right? And just showing up to the markets every single day and just not really like paying attention, but not really paying attention to what's going on and like what's happening. And like, yeah. We have come a long ways. I'll tell you that for sure. Right. I'm sure if you look back at those early videos from like last year, I wasn't even talking into the microphone. I was just like typing everything out. Let me know if you can see the difference between operating and executing just from this short period of time of this year compared to that year, right? Of last year, right? That's why I kind of wanted to do this too, just to be able to reflect on it and kind of showcase everything fully transparent, right? From literally zero in funding, the bottom of the barrel, to now having $500,000, right? I'm not even the best operator. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely not. Right? I'm not the best. I don't have the best, highest winning percentage. Right? I don't have this crazy, insane RR. Right? I just don't. And that's okay. Right? That is okay. But I'll tell you what though. I'm patient. More patient than most. And more disciplined than most. I'll tell you that right off the bat. For sure. I understand and realize how hard it is for some people, but that is not my sore point, right? I would consider that one of my best strengths is being able to be insanely patient, right? Insanely patient and very, very disciplined, right? Aggressively patient, very disciplined. Right, I would say those are two of my better edges. Right, combine that with me over this past year getting a little bit better with the technicals. Like just having this low level, base level foundation. Now I'm starting to stack a little bit more on top of that. Right, and as the years progress, hopefully can stack a little bit more on top of that. So in 5-10 years, right, we have this insane foundation. That's what I'm going for. 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years down the line. Having this insane base, this insane knowledge base, this insane foundation, that is what is going to separate. Right? From okay, good to great, If we could do that, hey, that is it, right? That is it. So with that being said, we are taking up. We took up a good amount of the time leading up into this news release here. So we got about 2 minutes. Let's see what Price wants to do from here. All right, this is going to be super interesting.
We went through this before, acting like the elves can't bag them no more. Nightgown dragging on the heated marble floor. Flash Cartier when you open up the door. Slide these on, baby. So butter, still relate to the gutter. Just your lifestyle's different, spirit uplifted. Fell in love with a cat who's gifted. Journey back to paradise, damn, I missed it. Pop a bottle, light a purple candle. I got something that you can't quite handle. That's why you love me. Pour bubbly, glow from the flame, make your skin shine lovely. I'm singing, baby. Touch it, why don't ya? 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 Hey girl, oh girl. Hey girl, I wanna rock your world. Paradise is very nice. Yeah. Next phase is this. Black sand, Tahiti, 10 days to reminisce. God's my witness. I paid the price of paradise, so I'm living this. I never limit myself, the L's fearless. Lay back while I illuminate the darkness. Like it smooth, don't you? Make it move, won't you? Think I won't? Take it to your peak, I know the mother cats don't, and it won't stop. This is beyond paper. First I get your mind right, then I might drape ya. Never pimpin', raise my girls well. Young thoroughbreds get schooled by Uncle LL. C double, L tattooed on the bubble. Lay the mink down, let you walk over a puddle. True love is so rare. But
Let's see here. We got about 10 seconds before this red folder drops.
you know why? Paradise is very nice.
We'll see if it's an immediate. Doesn't look like it's an immediate move, but maybe as he starts speaking, Price starts moving a little bit more. Let me see if I could pull up if it's on if it's live stream, the actual Okay, I think we got it here, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's not out just quite yet. Well, let's see. We got a couple minutes here before I gotta head out, but we'll see what gets presented. See if BTC is running. Oh, here we go. I think he's. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit here. I'll kind of be quiet in the background, but I want to see if we can get the audio a little bit higher so then you could hear him speaking.
Mr. President,
Hello.
what great honor, and pleasure to welcome you back to the Davos community. Just 4 days into your new mandate, we highly appreciate your presence with us today. We wish you all the best as you take on your critical work ahead. The global challenges we face today are monumental. The importance of American leadership and your personal leadership in this regard is fundamental and paramount. We are here to hear your vision and policies related to revitalizing the economy and addressing the global challenges. As you might expect, Mr. President, your return to office and your forthcoming policies have been at the focus of our discussions this week. The discussions among 3,000 political and business leaders from over 130 countries who came together here in Davos. We look forward to hearing first from you and then to the follow-up discussion.
We'll have to call it right there, but I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll see you